Money for bets, money for winners, and money for the state.
2nd and 10.
Legalizing sports wagering in California is the goal for many, but there are a few separate teams trying to do it. These teams are ready to raise and spend big bucks to make sure voters choose their specific plan on the November ballot, which could generate tens of millions to hundreds of millions a year flowing into California's economy.
Our initiative offers safe, responsible sports betting.
The first team is nicknamed the Tribal Measure. It would allow sports wagering to be legal in California, but in person only at tribal casinos and at 4 privately owned horse tracks. This one has already qualified to be on November's ballot and, if passed, would go into effect by the end of the year. Kathy Fairbanks is this team's spokesperson.
There are strict controls on who can get in. Obviously, you have to be 21. We'll be able to monitor who's doing the sports betting.
The state's legislative analyst says this measure could bring in tens of millions of dollars. The next team is nicknamed the Online Measure. This would legalize sports betting online. The initiative is backed by popular sports wagering websites like DraftKings and FanDuel.
21 other states have already legalized online sports betting, and California should be next.
Nathan Click is the team's spokesman.
There is an illegal offshore online sports betting market that Californians spend billions of dollars each year on. These are sites based in Croatia and Latvia. They don't offer any consumer protections. They don't offer any age verification.
The online measure is still in the signature gathering process and more than 25% of the way through. Proponents are confident they'll be able to get it on the November ballot. After regulatory costs, 85% of the money flowing to the state would go to homeless programs, including housing and mental health services. The legislative analyst says this one could bring in hundreds of millions of dollars.
This year with the Super Bowl here in LA, think about how much revenue that could create to solve this problem.
The third team considers itself the Something for Everyone measure.
Well, ours says that there's room for everybody here. We don't exclude the tribes. We don't exclude the others.
Gardena Mayor Tasha Cerda is a supporter. She says it would allow all licensed gambling facilities, including card rooms and casinos, to allow in-person sports wagering. It would also legalize online and mobile sports betting. If passed, it would put a 15% tax on businesses offering the bets. The money collected would go into a special fund called the California Sports Wagering Fund, which the state can use to put toward homelessness, housing, education, and mental health programs. This one is waiting on how the courts decide in a case involving the supporters of the tribal measure. Backers are hoping to gather signatures in time to get on the November ballot, and analysts say it could also bring in hundreds of millions of dollars.
Our initiative, at the end of the day, it's going back to the people of California, the people who need it the most.
So you might be wondering what happens if all the initiatives get on the ballot and voters approve every single one. Experts say it's likely going to come down to the one with the most votes. One of the ballot initiatives already has opposition.
And by extension, they would devastate our communities that depend on those revenues from the card rooms.
Bellflower Mayor Juan Garza is a member of the official No Coalition against the tribal measure. He represents an area with multiple card rooms. Opponents of the measure say it gives power for a private right of action for people to file what they say would be frivolous civil lawsuits against card rooms.
Minority communities, like the ones that I represent, depend on those revenues from the card rooms, and those frivolous lawsuits, if allowed to go on and move forward, would devastate our card rooms.
But supporters say their plan steps up enforcement of gambling laws.
That the card rooms recognize that their days may be numbered for engaging in illegal activity.
Meanwhile, the online measure faces opposition from 100% of California tribes, according to tribal measure supporters. The battle between these sports betting ballot measures is just beginning. Some consider themselves in the first quarter of the game, with still a lot of time, a lot of money to raise, campaigns to launch, and voters to convince. In Sacramento, Ashley Zabala, Fox 5 News.
And there is a fourth ballot initiative which would legalize in-person sports betting on tribal lands only and allow for online sports betting statewide. All right, hope you all had a great weekend. Hope you enjoyed the games, if that's what you did and enjoy.
If you had to step outside, get some sunshine, there was that too, Victoria.
Yeah, it wasn't all that bad. I know we had a beautiful weekend. This is from Greg Moulton from Torrey Pines. So this picture will be shifting here. We're going to be seeing more high clouds stream in. With the high clouds, we typically see really nice sunsets. So the clouds pushing in from the west tonight. Up and down that coastline, we could expect to see more clouds. So tonight, today, 67 degrees. The seasonal temperatures at the coast a little bit warmer by about 4 to 5 degrees inland. So those numbers hit the low 70s today, slightly above average temperatures in places like Ramona. Right now in downtown San Diego, 52 degrees. Clear skies for now. By dawn, we should be seeing more clouds on our skyline. 47 degrees in Ramona, 48 in Valley.